So they said it first about the topic principle alleviating poverty. How to help the poor. And that's we will relate with the entrepreneurs. In Minangkabau, there is a wise sentence that we have it. Anak di bangku, kamanakan dibimbing, kurang gampang dipatenggangkan. So for Minangkabau peoples, being egoist, is the poison for the community. That's like a toxic for the community. Minangkabau, that why we say that di mabumi di pijak di situ gangin di junjung. So when the Western people nowadays in European, they are busy with the immigrants, the conflict social, with the ethnic, race, become racism. But we for Minangkabau, actually where you were to go, in any place around the world, on earth, you have to respect.
Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Rani Fahmi, who will talk about Minang Entrepreneurship Contribution to the Board as Alternative Perspective. Dipersilakan.
Thank you very much, Inda. We have a very deep and rich discussion today. I think this is one of discussion that I ever involved, that's give me many insight. I think because our topic today is about aligning academia and policymakers for the future of Minangkabau entrepreneurship. And the last one, Anuradha mentioned about, what is actually Minangkabau entrepreneurs. I think, I just remember, actually, when we make this, design this discussion, we want to provide an alternative for the economic system what we have here today. In Westerns today, everywhere, we know that the capitalism. This is related with the ownership, where the freedoms, liberalization is the key. By doing so, the possibility to monopolize many things by certain people, by certain groups, is very big. So that's why many people mention also in the media. Maybe we can quote. They say 80% of the asset of the world belong to the 20% of the population, and if you zoom in again, this from 20% population, actually 2% of this population, own 80% of the rest asset. So what we want to offer. Last night, I saw one of the blogging from Paul William. He's good, and he invited one of the expert Muslim river, and I took from him. They said that there are some key principles in studying, in economies that we can relate in Islam. Why I say that Islam? Because Minangkabau, the principles, the philosophy, adat basandi syarat basandi kan kita umat. So it means for Minangkabau tribe, ethnic, Islam is the fundamental belief. What Hafiz said. This is the philosophical. This is fundamental belief in any action, in the way of thinking, in how we live within the community. So they said it first about the topic principle alleviating poverty. How to help the poor. And that's we will relate with the entrepreneurs. In Minangkabau, there is a wise sentence that we have it. Anak di bangku, kamanakan dibimbing, kurang gampang dipatenggangkan. So for Minangkabau peoples, being egoist, is the poison for the community. That's like a toxic for the community. Minangkabau, that why we say that di mampu dipijak di situ gang dijunjung. So when the Western people nowadays in European, they are busy with the immigrants, the conflict social, with the ethnic, race, become racism. But we for Minangkabau, actually where you were to go, in any place around the world, on earth, you have to respect. So Minangkabau is very, very hard like the values of respect and diversity. So that's actually the one of the strengths that's entrepreneur of Minangkabau we discussed today. And that's resource ownership. In Minangkabau, as I said at Kinsey, actually Minangkabau, who manage the asset? Woman. The powers that's men wealth, hierarchy in governments, leaders, but women managing the asset. That's why the owners say the women not own the asset, but they are the manager of the asset. So when we are talking about Minangkabau entrepreneurs, there is DNA, what Pak Ramsat said. And that's why in our history, like, in Amai City, even the warrior, City Makloko. So it's come from what? The family protection. For Minangkabau, the family is the course of life. So because of that, when we have a problem today, life today is tough. We need dual income earners to survive. So because of that, who looking for the money? Man and woman as well. So that's according to the data nowadays, the growth of women entrepreneurs is skyrocketing. So the third one, wealth based on, today we have taxation. But in Islam, we share Bapak Ibu. It's not about I pay, it's about contribution. So Minangkabau entrepreneurs talking about contribution, not about payment, not to become, employee, but I participate, I involve, in decision making, even. That's what I do. I have land. It's look like investor. I have a business, I have an idea, and I have a money, let me work together. That's startup before. So here, the collaborations. What Donald said it, we have actually a very good core values, what we call the collectives. Bakito baawa. That's really typical strong collectivisms. So helping each other. But this one, the set things is based on the research, the facts today, that's we lack for. That's Donald found it. We have actually, the Minangkabau is really typical person. They work based on collectivity, collegiality, and collaboration. Marantau, bujang, indok sama mencari daun. So it's mean this is about network. It's about collaboration. This is about connectivity. So another one, wealth circulation. Entrepreneurs, Minangkabau entrepreneurs, circulation of the asset of the capitals, actually possibility circular among of the community, regardless who you are. That's in Minangkabau. So if I make it conclusion today, the question that's Anuraga said, what is this Minangkabau entrepreneurs? What are the uniqueness? What is the uniqueness of Minangkabau entrepreneur? Based on our discussion this morning, up to this afternoon, I try to make the three key, because Minang tigo tali sa piling. I try to make it everything in three. So, first one, the uniqueness of Minangkabau entrepreneurs is in the approach of problem solving. In the approach problem solving, we have what we call that a comprehensive philosophical of thinking. First, the way we solve the problems based on study. This is what we call that have an academic perspective. That's why we are talking this one. And the second one, we have the perspective what we call that from the policymakers, from the governments, from the rulers. And the third one, we have spirituality perspective. It's about values. Another guy said it, profit maximization. In Minangkabau, we don't recognize it. Because in Islam, kekayaan adalah titipan. It's not the goal to collect money. The goal is to create kesejahteraan untuk semua orang. For the ummah. For the ummah. That in Islam. I'm lucky. The owners, kita bisa stay with it. His father is typical Minangkabau people. So it's not the weakness. This is our strength. So that's number one. The way we solve the problem is very comprehensive. Tigo tadi sabi. Punyo cadek pandai. Punyo alim ulama. Punyo nenek mama. Share. When we solve the problem, those three fundamental of thinking sit down together and we make decision. That should be like that. Unfortunately, that's the lack of the days. Let me go back on that. And the second one is about what core values that we want to pop out, to come with this morning discussion. Why we choose Minangkabau entrepreneurship? Because we believe we can bring we can create what we call sovereignty, kedaulatan. Minangkabau entrepreneurs is about diplomacy, economy diplomacy, you say. So this one's sovereignty. And the second one is about sustainability. And the last one, if we look at from the history, Indonesia Merdeka, Minangkabau FA contribute how many? Kabinet 100 Menteri, we can say that that's Minangkabau. Because of what? Because we have three igotali sapili. Muhammad Hatta cendekiawan, Muhammad Hatta negarawan, Muhammad Hatta agamanya bagus. When he decides something, it's very comprehensive. So this is about sustainability. The uniqueness of Minangkabau entrepreneurs, we bring the values sovereignty, sustainability, this one, a strong one, solidarity. So we have three notes. So the uniqueness, the three one, the approach. The approach is here. I think the way we do it, we mentioned before Uda Suryadi, Uni M, Pak Wali, dan Dona, Mama, Ibu Minangko, Hafiz, Paramal, and Anuraka. We talked about Levitt's approach, about collectivisms. The world today, individualisms. They don't care anymore. So, this is the problem of the future of economy. The gap is very big. So we actually the strength of Minangkabau entrepreneurs is about collectivisms. The second one is about collegiality. Today we do it. And we have in the future that's what we want to bring forward. And that is followed by collaborations. That bisa agad semua. Dan karena membahas kamu that's why merantau is another one to create the bigger society. Minangkabau is very open-minded. By doing so, you need to collaborate. Regardless nationality, regardless ethnic, regardless who you are, actually colors of your skin. Di mata Allah, ini umat. Minangkabau berdasarkan values Islam. So, Minangkabau entrepreneurs is very respect diversity, solidarity. That's the third. So we have sovereignty, sustainability, and we have solidarity. I think that's from the conclusion of all of us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Romy. That was a very short conclusion, but it's really impact. Everything's in there. Ladies and gentlemen, actually, Minangkabau Entrepreneurship Summer Course, for example, this is actually the opening, but it's going to be run the courses for until 10th of August, if I'm not mistaken. So another insight will become from the speakers also. And today what we do is what Bu Rami and another speaker said, what we call it, Tigo Tunggu Sejarah is in here. Right? We have Cedek Pandai, Nenek Mama, and Musa Alim Ulama. So thank you very much for all of the audience also. And for more information, the discussion today, we're gonna have been, we already making in some notes, and we're going to publish it in the media. And the last one, we also want to make this kind of discussion to become a book. So for anyone who would like to know more and give some insight about what we've discussed today, roundtable discussion, aligning academia and policymakers for the future Minangkabau Entrepreneurship. You can just access it later in terms of the book and also in the media access. Thank you very much for all the speakers, Bu Rami, Ibu Prof. Elriza, Pak Suryadi, dan juga Bapak Donor, Pak Elriza, Bu Minako, Pak Hafiz, Pak Nama saya dan juga Pak Adoraga. So this is actually, I hope that what we discussed today will be give a benefit to the community. Jadi bisa memberikan manfaat yang banyak untuk sekitarnya Bapak dan Ibu insyaAllah. And ladies and gentlemen, so as a moderator, I'd like to say thank you very much. I'm so sorry if there is any mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to Putri.